The rumored classic mode that people have been talking about for many months has actually been updated in the files of Black Ops 6 when Season 5 dropped. This could mean lots of things, and today we are going to go in depth about if this is coming to Black Ops 6, what it means for the game, if it will be coming in Black Ops 7, and when it does eventually come, what does it need to actually succeed. You should definitely take all the information I gave you today with a grain of salt because this is leaks, which means that it is able to change at any moment. We don't know if it's true. We don't know if it's coming to Black Ops 6 or Black Ops 7. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. But this all started when Reality UK tweeted, the classic round-based zombies mode for Black Ops 6 has had even more references for it added in Season 5. Curious if they'll be lazy and stick this as a super Easter egg reward. Then another Call of Duty data miner named Nanakos had a look around and he said an actual game type has been added. So it seems like we'll be getting classic mode after all with Season 6. And this game type never existed. What was leaked before was different things. This is a brand new thing that Treyarch has recently added to the files. And it's labeled as ZM_classic. Then Reality UK made another tweet, and this tweet he actually talks about things that he was able to find in the files that are unique to the classic mode. A few details about the classic round-based zombies mode. It has its own separate wall buys, mystery box, and allowed weapon list. So essentially certain weapons are going to be locked away from classic mode, and they're going to be switching up some wall buys from the regular round-based mode to the classic mode. So that's interesting strategy there. Second thing is the minimap is hidden. Obviously, if they're going to make a classic mode, they need to hide the minimap, but this is kind of nothing to me because you can hide your own minimap whenever you want. So that point kind of means nothing. Then he says the perk limit is 4, and this has been the very controversial part. A lot of the community are now complaining, saying that a 4 perk limit will be boring, saying that a 4 perk limit is not enough perks. We need 5, 6, 7. And I personally disagree. I think a 4 perk limit is great. If you want to say a 5 perk limit, then that's fine. That's like Infinite Warfare did. In my opinion, Zombies needs a perk limit. When you actually have to choose the perks, it'll make you play in different ways. Then if you want to switch it up, you can buy 4 different perks that you would not normally buy, and then your game will feel entirely different. It adds much more variety to the match. And in my opinion, Zombies needs a perk limit. Now, if they want to do a 4 perk limit or a 5 perk limit, that's up to them. But either way, I think that this game needs a perk limit, and I think a perk limit would be so amazing, and I really hope that they bring it back. Then the next point we're able to confirm is that exfils are disabled, which makes sense. If we're doing classic mode, there was no exfils in classic, so that makes sense. It is also rumored that the classic Wonder Fizz may actually return, where it will give you a random perk rather than allowing you to buy whatever perk you want. The classic Wonder Fizz coming back was actually first rumored back in November, but now that they're adding these extra strings to the classic mode, meaning that it's still being worked on for Black Ops 6, it's possible that it was not simply a cut idea, but rather it may be in the new mode, which would be really incredible. If you know me, you know I hate the modern Wonder Fizz. The OG Wonder Fizz is goated. I really hope that they bring it back for this classic mode, and if they don't bring it back for this classic mode, then they're either gonna have no Wonder Fizz at all, or they're gonna ruin the mode, because if they bring the modern Wonder Fizz into the classic mode, that will not feel classic at all in my opinion. And that is everything that we actually can confirm will be in this classic mode. Now I want to talk about some things that this classic mode needs for it to be as successful as possible. The first thing it needs is a spawn pistol. You definitely need to be able to spawn in with the starting pistol. That will make it feel so much more classic. It will make it feel so much more better, so much more reminiscent of the old days. I highly doubt they'll make you spawn in with a loadout, but if they do, that would be tainting the mode's legacy in my opinion, and they definitely need to go back to just a starting pistol. They also, most importantly in my opinion, need to go back to the old point system. The old point system will change the entire way that classic mode works. With the old point system, they can reintroduce single pack-a-punch tiers. With the old point system, they can remove scaling prices with perks. With the old point system, the starting pistol will actually be rewarding because you can actually farm points. In the modern point system, a starting pistol sucks because you want a gun that kills fast because that equals the most amount of points. But in the classic point system, you want a weak gun that does less damage per shot so you can maximize your efficiency with points. If they're going to bring this classic mode back, they definitely need to have some different point system, because the modern point system is actually one of the worst features in this game, and they definitely need to change it back to the old classic system for this mode. Another thing they need to remove is the entirety of the salvage system. There cannot be crafting tables. There cannot be salvage drops. There cannot be armories. There cannot be weapon rarities. That all has to go. They have to remove all of those extra features that modern zombies has been inflated with. If they don't remove those, the mode will not feel enough like classic, and I think it will flop. They either need to fully go classic here and go back to the game's roots and core with a 4 perk limit, with the spawn pistol, with no rarities, with all those things, or they need to not make the mode at all, because if they make the mode only half classic, it will do very bad in my opinion. It will not be good. people will not play it. Then Activision will see those numbers and they will say, oh, look, we added classic mode and it only got half of the players that we expected. Therefore, classic mode's not good. We're never going back to classic mechanics again. We're going to stick with the modern mechanics. And that is worst case scenario, in my opinion. Activision goes solely based off of numbers. That's why Outbreak was still around and is most likely coming back in Black Ops 7. When Outbreak launched, it was COVID, so it got massive numbers, massive player counts. And ever since then, they think, oh, Outbreak's a good idea. Let's make a whole game with only Outbreak. And now the leaks suggest that they are bringing Outbreak back in Black Ops 7. Outbreak is not that good of a mode. In my opinion, it's actually really bad. They are only bringing it back because they believe that it has higher player counts and keeps player retention for longer. It will definitely be a mistake to bring Outbreak back, in my opinion, but we will have to wait and see. Another minor thing that I think that this classic mode could really benefit from is when the round changes, you actually should get more lethals and tacticals. In old games, when the round changed, you would actually get 2 extra grenades added to your inventory. That has been removed ever since they changed the equipment system, and I would love to see that reintroduced. I would also love to see that if you get a max ammo, it also refreshes your equipment and it refreshes your tacticals as well. I think it would be a really good feature. It would very much benefit the mode. I personally believe that that should just be in the mode by default in regular round base. Obviously it's not, and I just wish that they would add that. I think it would help the mode so much. I think it would make lethals and tacticals way better and feel way better to use. It would give monkey bombs purpose again, and it would just be a great feature. So Treyarch, please add this. Another thing that this classic mode needs to remove is scaling damage. So if you don't know, in modern zombies, damage actually scales by rounds. In classic zombies hit you for the same amount of damage every round, no matter if you're on round 1 or round 100. They hit you for 50 damage, and that was that. You could buy Jug to increase your health so you would take more hits before downing, but the damage never actually changed. It's the same amount of damage from the first round to the last round that you play. In modern zombies, the damage that zombies deal per hit starts very low, and as the rounds go on and on and on, it randomly scales up. There's no indicator of when it scales up. I have no idea what rounds the damage scales up. All I know is that their damage does scale up, and it is one of the worst things about modern zombies. That is the whole reason that armor is a thing. If you do not plate up past round like 50, I think you actually get one-shotted. So if you have no armor and you get hit past round 50 in Black Ops 6, you get one hit downed. It's unbelievable. Definitely needs to be removed. Damage scaling cannot be in this classic mode, and it should not be in any zombies game going forward, in my opinion. Another thing that comes with damage scaling is armor. So if this classic mode does come out, it cannot have armor, but I fear that what they will do is that they will remove armor, but they will keep damage scaling, and that will severely damage the mode because, like I said, once you get to high rounds without armor, you get one-shotted. So the mode will be exceedingly hard for no reason, and it's going to be because of damage scaling. And if they do not remove that, then the mode's in a bad position, if you ask me. But yeah, those are just some of the things that I think need to be added into this new classic mode. If I missed anything, or you guys can think of any other features you would like to see in the new classic mode come into Black Ops 6, please comment down below. And if you want to watch another one of my videos, you click on this video right here on why I think The Reckoning is a complete mess. Also, like and subscribe, please. Thank you guys for watching.